Yes, we also add more function to our program. The first one what we call try catch, and finally this is a block statement where we can detect the error to avoid the stop of the program. Auto generating setter and getter method Eclipse. We can see in the previous video. Yeah, we go review it one more time. How we can use the file IO in Java. Yes, with the try and catch statement, it helps us to define a piece of code to test it for error when it is executed. So if there is an error, if we go into the catch block and it performs some actions, and then it let your program continue running again and again. For example, you are trying to access the data from the array, and it is out of the index. In this case, as you can see in this example, we have variable array my number. We have only 3 elements, and we're trying to access element in the position number 10. So it is our scope, right? So if we're trying to do this, you will get an error message. Instead of making your program stop, you can actually make it continue running and ask them, tell them something message. Yeah, you can do that with the catch. For example, as you can see, if you display this, you will get something exception, Java lang, array and index outbound. This means that we're trying to access data that are not exist in the array. So we can use try catch to solve this problem. If this happen, okay, we don't stop the program immediately. We can give comments to the student, to the user, and then ask them to do something else. And the program doesn't stop. We can also use the finally together unless that we go to try or catch. Finally, still always be executed. Finally, we do something, right? Something like that. So you can use try, catch, finally, or you can use try and then finally. Okay? Try something and then finally it always happens. Okay, we come back to the monitor. Recalling a bit on how we generate the setter, getter, and setter methods. Getter and setter method are actually applied to variable data private. We are trying to make it accessible through the public function. So through the public function, we still able to access to our private data. So like we protect our data, we make it abstract. They can access to our data only through function, and function we can add validation or whatever control access that we want to apply to. Get a key parameter, if the key is right, yeah, we return for you. It's just like contract, right? You can get some of my data only if you provide me some information first. So basically, getter and setter are used to protect your data when creating a class. When you create a class, your data will be exposed, right? So you can make it private. So by doing this, you can make it auto-generated from the tool Eclipse by going to the class, right click on the class, click source, and then we have something called generate setter method, getter and setter. Then you can select what variable that you want to generate getter and setter, and then click generate. Here's some more examples. You have class employee, for example. You have some of your data that you want to make it through the getter and setter. If they are private or non-private or whatever, you can still do with the getter and setter. So go to the class, right click, source, and then generate setter method. You will be given a block dialog pop up to select the variable that you want to make it getter and setter to generate. Then upon completion of the generate button, you got this auto generation of getter and setter methods. So in case the variable are private, we make this as getter and setter. This process is called encapsulation. We encapsulate our data. We don't allow access from everyone. We made it abstract, only private to my class, to our class, and other can use through the public function getter and setter. That's the concept. Okay, next we explore about file I/O. File I/O, we have the input stream, which is used to read data from the source. That means that incoming to the program, source input to the program, so program need to read, right? Output stream, it is output from the program output some information to a destination, so it write, right, program display our data, write our data to certain destination. So for example, we can use this file input stream and file output stream class, which already exists in Java, to copy data from one file to another. So we can create two objects, file input stream for read, file output stream for write output. So in here we try and use finally block. Why we use try here? It's because when the file is not found, yes, we still able to continue program, otherwise you will stop. But in Java, it really suggests you the error if you don't put the try, because it maybe happen what we call handling exception. So read the variable object in here. This is used for read. We read everything from the file until the end of the file. So it means -1. So you use while loops. Read while reading. You test if it is -1 to stop the program, right? So loop not equal to -1. If it is -1, we stop the loop. And then after you read and then you write to the destination. So we use object out after write. So command read and command write. And finally, we need to close the file. When we reach the file, we should close the file. Okay, that's it. That's the concept. We can access the data from a file, and then we can read and we can write to a new file. It's fine. Well, we also have other class, what we call file writer and file reader. So this is quite very top level. If you use the file input stream and file output stream for transferring the file, is quite fast. Well, if you write your data into file, your data is not representing as what it will be into the file. So if we stop something like the ASCII code representation. So coming file to reader and writer, whatever you write from your program, yes, the file will be stored something like that. So suppose that you have the input file and you also write, yes, it can work the same way comparing to the file input stream and file output stream, but this is special. And mostly, yes, we will use this to work with our data from user input, from file reading, for example, or Excel, so on and so forth. Yeah, so this is the class hierarchy of the file I/O. We have read and write with two important streams: object input stream, output stream, and we have different types. As you can see, input for read data, output from display data. You can actually create a path. Okay, what's the file located and pass to the file input stream. The first constructor of this file, this is called string. The second one is called file, right? As you can see, the difference between new object or file input stream. Next, we will also be able to write data byte. We use these output streams again, and then we can also access to a file if it is available or something that we can read. Okay. Making with the file, we can also navigate the directory. What is the current directory folder? What are the files inside? What is the name of each file? We can use this one. In case that the directory is not exist, you can use the command mkd after you add a file. File d equal new file. This is the class file object. You create a new file with the given directory path. If it is not exist, yeah, you create mkd plural. Also have no one mkd not plural. If the directory not exist with the plural form here, yeah, we auto create here. You can also use the list, yes, the list function, file list. It means it will list what inside those location. You can actually use a for loop to explore what's inside that list directory. What is the file name? You can actually read every file from that list, right? From this loop, so string parts here, we get every name from that directory. This was quite useful. For example, when you work with thousands of reading of file, in a particular folder, you create a folder, or your program create a new directory, create a new file inside the hard disk on the hard disk. You can use this command, very useful. Mkdir list and create new file in that side. So I think next we can explore how we can use what we call try and catch function. Come back to this part. I'm going to go to this project. I'm gonna create a new package. Let's say the name is try catch. Okay. Finally, I'm gonna create something inside here first. Test, okay. Whatever you make that means. Action here. I'm gonna test with the try catch. So let's say we have an array. This is an array. Let's say number. What is your array of number here? Within the initialization, I put some number, whatever number, you know. So in this case, we have 5 elements. Test data. You can use what we call for each loop, right? Okay. Yeah. So for each data, you can get one by one. Okay. Let's say display this. Okay. So whatever data inside, you will get. This is the output. However, you can also do it manually with this one, 0 less than 4 byte. Okay, plus 1. But this is quite long. If you do something like this, num. Okay. Java, I provide this. Is very simple. Use the colon. We get the same data output, right? So however, in this case, we don't access this information. I'm gonna make it into a comment. In case that we're trying to access data that are out of scope, say I put number 9 element doesn't exist here. As you can see, something wrong happened. Java lang battery because there's no location. However, you can use the try catch symbol. Okay. Try control space. Yes, we have try catch, try finally, for example. I'm gonna use this try display this num and then oops, when there is an error, the try not success, you want to say something, oops, something wrong. Okay, something wrong. Yes, we got this. Okay, something wrong. You don't get something what expect. There's something wrong in here. You can also actually want to see what sometimes we debug the code. You can say put e. It's actually the variable exception. It can exception whatever variable name is fine. Print stack trace. Print stack trace command. If we show you, we tell you what happened here. It's actually convert the message into text, right? So the program still able to run if you have something here, no? Because we do try cut. Goodbye. Okay. You can see, although the program something wrong, it catch you just do something and then it still continue the program. Okay. However, if you don't use the try cut command and you have these segments freely outside here. Sorry. Gonna create this. We write this. So what happened in here? The program will stop when it meets the error. So the goodbye message we don't see in this case. As you can see, it already stopped from here. Something wrong, so this will not run anymore. So we try catch. It helps to detect the error. If the error happened, what? Why error? And it continue our code to run more as well. As you can see, we can run off there. Okay, next I'm going to create one more test file to create with input. Say test number 2. Put. Okay. Let's say you have the scanner class as you've done before. See, new scanner, right? System out, turn that in. I'm gonna say a number here. I'm gonna say system out, turn number, and next in, right? Okay. Let's say thank you. Here's the display. What is n, right? Puts which number then puts? Tab bit here. Can you run this? If they write something in here, let's say input certain number, okay, you input something like this, no? However, if I input something else, let's say there's no number, that's string, right? As you can see, yes, we have got something wrong. Exception is the input, what we call input mismatch. The input mismatch to the data type or variable that we store. So something wrong. If we stop the program, right, the word thank you at the end here does not display. So in this, we can use try and catch here coming into place, and we're gonna put this, right, put this, we try with this statement. If the input is correct, we do something, right? Okay, let's say here, and then if it is not correct, you may say something, oops, sorry, input not delete something, because they are not input the right number, input string or something. Yeah, you can still continue your code into, if you have more code below, it still run. So I'm gonna say something in here. Yes. You see 1 2 3 and have letter. Yes, sorry, the input is not right. As you can see, yes, it means that we detect the error, right? And you can want to see what error happened, you can put e.print stack trace inside the catch. So now let's say I'm trying to adjust the requirement a little bit. We ask the user to input the number, to keep asking again and again until they input the correct form. So you can use while loop, right? While it is true, what you will do, okay? Okay, it's true. And then we gonna make this happen, right? Example, break here. Okay, we will break when the input is right. If they continue, blah blah blah, and break. However, if the input is wrong, you ask them input is not correct, please try again. For example, please try again. Okay. You input this, so it means that we ask them to input one more time. We start the loop again. This one is right. Okay, we quit the program. If it is not right, blah blah blah. So we actually trying to ask them to input again, but we got something wrong here. It's because when we input the text, because this number cannot accept the text. So if when we repeat again, it will start looping. So it means that in here, when we use the catch, we should clear the previous input by c.next line. Whatever they are input in the previous line, when we jump into the catch statement, we throw this away. We don't get whatever they input. Okay. Otherwise, when we start again, this will something cause error because it's number and string. That's why we remove the input out away. Okay. So run one more time. Let's say input something that is not right. Try again. As you can see, try again, right? But if you put the right thing, yes, you stop the loop, you break the loop. Okay. It's not right. Okay. It's not right. Okay. Okay, as you can see, whatever the input, yes, something. However, in this case, there is a number, there is space because we scan. Whenever there is a space, we can get it, right? That's fine.